It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. All grown-ups were once children, but only few of them remember it. You become responsible forever for what you have tamed. Love does not consist in gazing at each other, but in looking outward together in the same direction. What makes the desert beautiful is that somewhere it hides a well. It is the time you have wasted for your rose that makes your rose so important. The most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or touched. They are felt with the heart. One runs the risk of weeping a little if one lets himself be tamed. Grown-ups never understand anything by themselves, and it is tiresome for children to be always and forever explaining things to them. Of course I'll hurt you. Of course you'll hurt me. But this is the very condition of existence. It is much more difficult to judge oneself than to judge others. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Perfection is achieved not when there is nothing more to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. If you want to build a ship, teach them to long for the endless immensity of the sea. You alone will have the stars as no one else has them. Straight ahead, you can't go very far. The meaning of things lies not in the things themselves, but in our attitude towards them. He who is different from me does not impoverish me. He enriches me. What saves a man is to take a step, then another step. To be a man is precisely to be responsible. You are beautiful, but you are empty. No one could die for you. I am who I am, and I have the need to be. The house, the stars, the desert, what gives them their beauty is something that is invisible. I have always loved the desert, yet through the silence something throbs and gleams. It is such a mysterious place, the land of tears. No one is ever satisfied where he is. I am looking for friends. What does that mean? Tame? To forget a friend is sad. Not everyone has had a friend. You should never listen to the flowers. You should simply look at them and breathe their fragrance. The eyes are blind, one must look with the heart. I am very fond of sunsets. Come, let us go look at a sunset. When one is very sad, sunsets are beautiful. The stars are beautiful because of a flower that cannot be seen. A designer knows he has achieved perfection when there is nothing left to take away. You are responsible for your rose. What is essential is invisible to the eye. The most beautiful things in the world are felt with the heart. The land of tears is so mysterious. You must not hold it against the flowers. You must simply love them. All grown-ups were once children. Words are the source of misunderstandings. To love is not to possess, but to wish the other, to live freely. It is the spirit that builds the body. Man discovers himself when he measures himself against the obstacle. Peace is not man's natural state. His natural state is effort. A rock pile ceases to be a rock pile the moment a single man contemplates it with the image of a cathedral in mind. Transport of the males, transport of the human voice, transport of flickering pictures. In this century, as in others, our highest accomplishments still have the single aim of bringing men together. To live is to be slowly born. I know but one freedom, and that is the freedom of the mind. We live not by things, but by the meaning of things. Life has taught us that love does not consist in gazing at each other, but in looking outward together in the same direction. True happiness comes from the joy of deeds well done. The machine does not isolate man from the great problems of nature, but plunges him more deeply into them. The meaning of life is not to be discovered in the outer world, but in the inner world. Only the unknown frightens men, but once a man has faced the unknown, that terror becomes the known. What torments us most is not the bad things we did, but the good things we failed to do. A civilization is built on what is required of men, not on that which is provided for them. Fidelity is not merely a matter of keeping one's word. It is the will to stay loyal to a goal. Each man must look to himself to teach him the meaning of life. It is not something discovered, it is something molded. Even our misfortunes are a part of our belongings. Nothing comes from nothing. Life has meaning only if one barters it day by day for something other than itself. The end is nothing, the road is all. The essential is always threatened by the insignificant. There is no hope of joy except in human relations. Love begins when nothing is expected in return. Real love begins where nothing is expected in return.